So I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about some crazy things that have going on in my life recently. The point of my channel is to like inspire and then educate and empower and to make you guys laugh and be super positive, but I also want my channel to be as transparent as possible. Like I want you guys to understand that I'm a real person, I go through real troubles, and so like yes, my channel is as positive as I can be, but I also want to be real with you guys. So this is a video where I'm being real. So I'm going to talk a little bit about a backstory. So if you don't care, exit out, I guess. I don't know. I sat down 2 weeks ago, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and I filmed a Fashion Nova haul. And in that Fashion Nova haul, when I was going through and editing, I saw that my ring light was flickering. That was the first thing that caught my attention, which struck me as odd because when I was filming the video, nothing was happening. Like my ring light was fine, nothing was malfunctioning. So when I went back and I was watching like what I had filmed and going through and editing, it kind of like caught me off guard because I'm like, what the heck, why is that happening? And then I saw an orb bouncing around throughout my entire video. It was an exhilarating experience to catch something on camera. I have been experiencing paranormal things as young as I can remember. Like my family and I, we all have our different stories when it comes to paranormal things, paranormal activity, whatever you want to call it. We all have our own unique experiences, but we all have experienced things. So I've been doing YouTube for a year and I've experienced all of these paranormal things ever since I was a little girl. And for me to finally catch something on camera in a room where I definitely feel like anxious in because of the paranormal activity, it was kind of exhilarating, a little scary at first just because I'm just a very panicky person in general. I'm very normal. And for some reason, I just felt like communicating and talking about my feelings, it kind of just gives me like this sense of peace and a sense of calming, especially because I can like just sit here and like, I don't know why. But talking about it just helps me feel better, which is why I'm filming this video. So ever since I released the Fashion Nova haul, and then I filmed another video where I talked about me seeing this orb and some previous paranormal experiences that I had in this video. One of my commenters was sly enough, she freaking like, I edited this video for like 2 hours and she was so on the ball. She was able to catch, she was like, hey, look at your video at this second. It was like 23 seconds in the video. I'll post her comment up somewhere. She was like, you also caught another paranormal thing in this video. There was another orb in the background of the video where I filmed my reaction, I guess. I'm sorry, I'm like so excited and I'm like trying to talk slowly and enunciate so you can understand what I'm saying. So ever since I filmed that second video, and it's around Christmas, I always feel like around Christmas, around holidays, things get worse, just because there's so many like heavy emotions, like there's a lot of heavy emotions attached to these holidays, so I definitely feel like paranormal activity gets worse. But ever since I filmed that video, everything around here has gotten way more intense and way more prevalent. I posted the paranormal reaction around a week ago, and in the past 4 days, I feel like my life has been changed a little bit. I had a friend that I grew up with that passed away recently, and I knew he was going to pass away. I didn't know exactly. It was kind of unexpected. I had a dream that he died, and he visited me in that dream, and I had that dream the day before he died. Like I had the dream, woke up, and I found out that he was dead, and it upset me. But we had kind of grown apart in the last few years, so it was hard for me to go through. But I wasn't like, you know, does that make any sense? Like it made me upset, but it didn't break me. And I mean, I was sad that he passed, but it shook me. It shocked me that he had visited me the night before he died. A couple weeks later, he visited me again, and he was back to like the person that I knew when we were like growing up. And in the dream, I just remember seeing him, and all I did was cry. All I was doing was crying. And he got mad at me because I was crying. Like he was just so mad because I couldn't communicate to him. All I was doing was crying and crying and crying. So I have those dreams, and this was a couple months ago. After I filmed the video, I had turned it was like Saturday this has happened. I turned the corner and I swear I saw him standing right in front of me. I just turned the corner. I had come out of the bathroom, out of the shower, and I turned the corner to go into my bedroom, and my heart stopped because I saw him standing right there. And it wasn't like I was sitting there like, you know, it's not like I'm going, yeah, I'm being haunted by my dead friend. Like, I never thought that. I just assumed, like, after he had communicated with me the second time, he had passed on. Like, that's what I really had hoped for him, and it makes me sad that he's, like, here. So like and then I was just like, I turned the corner and saw him, and I was like, oh my, like I freaked out. I ran to my mom. I'm like, I'm not gonna say his name out of respect, but I was like, I just saw him, and she was like, you're probably just still upset about his passing, because it's something that I definitely still get upset about. But I was like, okay, fine, I'll leave it at that. I'm in the middle of redesigning my room, and I've just finished redesigning my closet. So everything's in there. Everything's all nice and secure. That night, the same night that I saw my dead friend, as I turned around the corner, I have all of my purses up on this top shelf. I was sleeping, and 3 of my purses fell off of the top shelf and down on the floor. And it wasn't like 1, 2, 3, like a solid section of my purses. It was random purses that it was 2 purses and a duffel bag that had fallen down on the floor. And I'm like, that's weird. Why would that happen? I was a little freaked out, but I went and I go, you know what? I probably didn't put them up there right, you know, whatever. The next night, the same thing happened again. The same 2 purses and the duffel bag had fallen on the ground. And I'm like, I said out loud, I'm like, whoever you are, you need to leave me alone. Like, I don't want you here. You're not welcome. Leave me alone. So I was like, okay, it's all good. It's all good. The next day, my dad and I went up to into my attic to pull out wrapping paper for Christmas. My mom and my sister and I, we don't like going into the attic because my house is old, and the ladder to our attic is like not the safest thing to be on. So we don't ever go up into the attic by ourselves. We always have my dad standing behind us in case we fall, he can catch us. We store like old clothes, wrapping paper. I have some stuff that I had just put up in my room 6 months ago, when I had redesigned it 6 months ago. And so I had this box full of memorable stuff for me. Had my high school diploma, had some music awards, Warped Tour tickets, some collectible stuff, a dolphin. It had a whole bunch of stuff in it. It was in the back corner of my attic where we don't really walk because there's a lot of insulation. So if you step on the insulation, you'll fall through. But if you follow very carefully on this like line boards we have, you can like rest stuff on there. So it was in the back corner of my attic. I walked up the attic steps. I turned, and this box that had been in the back corner of my attic was sitting right next to the attic opening with all of my stuff laid out. I have a picture of it. The picture will pop up. But I had like my Warped Tour ticket from when I went to Warped Tour with my dad. It had my old karate trophies. It had my high school diploma. It had a first place award like ribbon from when I won a writing competition. It was all very personal stuff to me, and it was all like I just took up my camera because I assumed my sister had gone up there looking for something, which would have been weird because we don't go up without my dad. But I took a picture because I was gonna be like, look, you need to go put my stuff away. So I went and I like asked my sister, I'm like, look, why did you take out my stuff and not put it away? And she's like, I didn't do that. She doesn't go over, it's always me and my dad. But I just assumed, I'm like, why did you go up there? Why did you take out my stuff? She's like, I didn't do that. I haven't gone up there. Because the last time we had gone up was for Christmas decorations, and that box wasn't there when we had pulled out the Christmas decorations. It was still in that back corner. So within a 2-week period, the box somehow moved to the side of the entrance where the ladder pulls out, and all of my stuff had been taken out. So I'm like, why did you do that? She's like, I didn't do that. I went and asked my mom. I'm like, did you go up into the attic and do that? She's like, no, I don't go in the attic. My dad didn't do it, and I didn't do it. So somehow this box that weighed probably a solid 10 pounds with all, because a lot of the stuff in there is stone, like it's real stone, had magically moved itself a solid 15 feet and then ended up on the side of the attic entrance with all of my stuff pulled out. I flipped. I would not stop talking about it for a solid 2 hours. I'm like, why is this happening? Why am I being targeted? I feel like I'm being targeted. Is it just me? Is it just the holidays? So I'm like sitting here, I'm like, I can't figure out how the box got there. I can't figure out why all my stuff was there. So, and like I had taped up the box. It's not like I just like threw a box in there. I had taped up the box. The box had been like opened, and it wouldn't make any sense that some animal would pull out all of my stuff and just lay it there. That doesn't make any sense. And the only entrance to our attic is through that ladder. So it's not like somebody can like it just doesn't make any sense. There's only one entrance to the ladder. It doesn't make any sense. So that happened. I freak out about it. Kind of like, you know, kind of exits my mind. I'm kind of like, okay. Next day comes around. Next day comes around and my bedroom door swings open. Nobody's there. It wasn't like a draft ran through the house. Nobody was there. And I'm like, okay. I said it again. I'm like, you need to leave me alone. I'm not interested. Leave me alone. I come out of my bedroom and into the our living room. Our garage door, like the door that goes, like connects the garage to our house, popped open, and the same instant, with tongs, my mom was cooking dinner and she had tongs. They popped open. So I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, what? And so my mom was like, oh, it's just nothing. Like the door, like maybe somebody didn't shut it right. Maybe I misplaced the tongs. I'm like, okay. So I take the tongs, I pick them up for her, take the tongs, close them, put them back up on the counter, and they pop open again and like fly across the counter and hit the floor because they popped open. So I'm like, all of these little events are kind of just adding up, and I can't wait for Christmas to be over because I'm hoping that just the emotion of Christmas will pass and all of this like stuff will stop for the year. So that happened 2 hours ago. I was getting ready to film another fashion haul 2 hours ago, and my dog starts barking like crazy. Her haunches roll up. My dog's really friendly. She always wants to lick the mailman or the pizza guy or whatever. Her haunches were up. She was growling. She was barking. She was shaking. And just as she goes into the other room, I see a shadow walk right in front of her. It was a shadow figure. I was like, so there's no like really resolution to this video, but I wanted to share with you all what has been happening. I just want to like make you guys aware what's going on and what's happening and kind of keep you guys up to date. I have saged the house before. We have saged the house before. I've gotten healing crystals. I did salt and rubbing alcohol. I've done a whole bunch of stuff. But I just feel like because my entire family is so open-minded to so many things, we kind of like attract people who are looking for closure in the spirit world. So that's kind of what I think is going on. I would love to hear what you guys think. As always, I love hearing from you all, and I will see you in my next video.